Hey guys, so today we're going to do another how-to. I've got a waterer here that I actually made one of these a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, but I'm going to try to change up a little bit and I'll make a better video to show you guys how to build it. For this waterer, you're going to need 2 5-gallon buckets, a 6-foot long heat trace tape, you can get it Lowe's, some insulation. This guy should work. This insulation should work. It is Reflextix staple tab insulation. It's like a bubble wrap, but aluminum foil type. Some wire and some of these guys. I'm going to use these guys. I'm going to use these guys this year. The other one that I built has the nipples on the bottom of the bucket, but I'm going to try to put these on the side this time. See if that works better. And I use electrical tape. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to, on your outside bucket, because I'm going to go on the side here, you're going to have to cut holes to where you want to put your water nipples. Oh, sorry, here you go. Ah, that's better. On your outside bucket, you're going to have to cut openings for where you're going to put your water nipples, and then on the inside bucket, you're going to need to wrap up this electrical tape around it in a way that you can put this inside the white bucket or the other bucket. Before I go ahead and shove this guy in here, I'm going to take some insulation and put it into the bottom of this guy. Not like that. So what I was going to do is I was going to cut this, in a circle, make it all fancy, but I don't think we need to do that. Let's just get some of it in there and shove it down. You're also going to need one of these. Careful, not to cut yourself, because who wants to go to the hospital now? Tape it back on there so it doesn't unfold on me. Just want some insulation, some barrier down there. So that the cold air won't get too cold down there. Alright, now let's see if we can shove this guy in here. It's going to be tight because this heat trace tape comes out, which is going to make it a much tighter fit. But you're going to want to get the sucker down there good and low. Take note to where you want your handles to be, because you're not going to be able to move it around once you start getting it in there. I want my handles to line up, so I'm going to go down this way. Oh, jeez. Well, that doesn't go deep at all, does it? So the microphone stopped recording, and I realized I could not get the red bucket into the white bucket with the wire wrapped around it. So what I did was I cut down alongside the white bucket to open it up a little bit so that I can get it farther down there. And as I shoved it in there, it just kind of snapped the white bucket. But it's going to be fine. We'll just wrap it up like this and move on from there. So I don't know how much of this was not recorded, but my bucket broke, and I'm just going to tighten it up with this thing. It'll be okay. But now I got this in nice and deep, so I'll be able to put the nipples in there. Yeah, I know, that's why. So I got this lock wire pliers. You ever see these? They're pretty cool. They grip onto your wire, and then you can pull it and watch. All right, so now the bucket should be on there nice and tight. Now I've got to drill holes here and put my little drinkers in the bucket. I think it's 11/16 is the bit size, but I'm not totally sure, so a good idea is to test it not on your actual bucket first. That should do it. Yes. So it's an 11/16 drill bit, and then these guys are tapered out wide. I don't know, can you see they're tapered wide? So that it just gets tighter and tighter as you thread it in. Now, I'm going to need to screw these guys in here, but I also need to put insulation around this whole bucket. So, trying to think if it's smarter to insulate the bucket and then cut holes in the insulation to put these nipples on, or put the nipples on and then insulate and cut the holes around them. I think what I'm going to try to do is put the insulation on, and then I will cut a hole here out of the insulation, just big enough to get this sucker on. that's what I'm gonna go with. It's always easier to put things away while you're working, but it's never what I want to do. I'm gonna cut this handle off. It's kind of just getting in the way. I don't think I need it anymore. Hopefully I won't regret that. Not that I'm cutting it. Okay, so we need to get this around here. Once this should be fine, we'll just overlap it a few inches. I'll get some tape ready to hold it tight, and then I will wrap it up again with the wiring to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm going to try to be mindful of where the holes are, and try not to put 2 layers of insulation where I'm planning on cutting holes in this thing. Alright, save this for the next one we build. Alright, so now I need to dig out where the holes were. So we're getting close. Let's see, I will take a pokey stick to identify where these holes are on the outside. This little guy here ought to work. Heel, found the hole, and poke it out. Alright, so there's one. The hole is right here. I gotta cut this out. Alright, so there's my little water nipple in there, and now I gotta do 3 more. Can you see me? I think you can. Well, we'll show you what I got. So, I think it's done. Hopefully it's gonna work just fine. We've got our heat trace tape wrapped around the inside bucket, an outside bucket around that, with holes cut in the outside bucket so that I could put the nipples through. And then I drilled those into there with an 11/16 inch bit. And I put the insulation on the outside. Remember, there's also some insulation here between the white bucket and the red bucket. And now, all I gotta do is plug it in and fill it up with water. I wanna put the lid on here, the plain lid. You know, you might want to put some insulation on the underside of that lid. That would help to keep the water from freezing inside there too. But I'll do that if I need to. We shall see how it goes. So I have the other water bucket that I have, which I'll link here. I have nipples on the bottom of it. So that's a different process because you have to cut the bottom of the thing off and you have to drill holes, pre-drill holes in the bottom so that you can put the nipples through on the other side of them. It can be kind of tricky. But I wanted to set this on the ground because that, if you put it on the bottom, you have to hang the bucket. But these chickens don't have a coop that I can hang it from. So I wanted something that I could set in the ground. So hopefully this will work. All right, so you see I got several waters here. These are the ones that don't freeze, or that they will freeze. Don't need them for the winter. This is another one I made simply for the summer months. But here, this guy. So the only other question that I have now is how am I going to be able to make it so this is weatherproof? And so we can plug it in. There you go. And that's good to go. So, all right. Okay. Now, this. So I did some looking online. This is pallet tape, pallet wrap, and we can just wrap this up. Wrap this around the plug a bunch of times, and that should weatherproof it for the winter. So. Yeah, I don't think I did a good job of wrapping that up at all. I have to have my wife come out and help me with that. She said that the gymnasts will use this to wrap ice packs around their knees and their ankles and stuff. Anyway. Alright, so I'll put a link to the other one that I made for this waterer, and thanks for watching, guys. Take care.